How's business going, Craig? Greg, sorry.
Going okay. You're just doing some prospecting right now, setting up some prospecting bundles to get some people in, get them low ticket items to bring them up to get more Google business profile, listings.
The value ladder. Run them up the value ladder.
Yes, exactly. That's what I'm building out my funnels right now. So
nice. What about you, Mr. Craig? How you doing?
I thought I was moving forward nicely, and had some setback with the couple of VAs that I had working for me, kind of crapped out, and it's one of those things where I remember you previously mentioned when you start hiring, it's tough sometimes to get the exact ones to fit in, and I'm just trying to plug forward and not get demoralized, trying to stay positive, try to regroup.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'll tell you, sometimes what feels like a step backward is actually a step forward. You're this getting punched in the mouth with having the wrong person on your team. That's a learning experience. We get to take away stuff from that. I've done it a bunch of times, and because of that, I do better than I used to.
Well, right. I figured I'd just keep with the plan that you and I had discussed and keep moving forward, and then lick my wounds just for one day, and then I decided to sign up for the Mansion Mastermind. So I'm taking one step to the side and moving forward and saying, screw that. I'm going to defeat this. It's not going to get me down. And what's the next? How do I regroup and stay focused on the goals?
Yeah, absolutely, Craig. I'm excited. I know that we got to hang out a little bit in person when I spoke at SEO at the beach a few months ago. When was that? February or something. But it's awesome. I think this is going to be a great spot for you. It's a great community for you to establish some more closer relationships with people, and I think you're going to love it, man.
I'm confident I am, and I'm looking forward to it.
Very cool, man. We're going to be announcing some of the speakers and talking about them today. We'll get into that in a little bit, but pretty excited. We definitely have some heavy hitters coming this time. So it's gonna be cool. I think it's gonna be great to expose you guys to some of the minds that we have coming to this thing. Cool. We got a lot of people filtering in here. Let me get the recording button started. Record to the cloud. All right, cool. All right. Who has some wins to share? Are we winless?
I got one. It's been a little while since I could jump on live to these ones. I always watch them back, but had a schedule change. I kind of 2 wins with existing clients. One of them is we've been working together about 1.5 years, but they have a kind of more niche service of one of their general services we're going after, and I'd set up like a new website for that. Within like 2 weeks, it had indexed and got the first lead the other night for them, and they're stoked. And they're paying me more for these. The value of these leads are worth more. So that's been great. And then second win is I've just been able to kind of increase the income from another existing client, just because I've been working on the GMBs and things like that, and just bringing them more lead flow. So I was able to just justify that price increase. And actually, I'm about to, because we're doing pay per lead at the moment, actually pay per conversion for this client, for this setup. But I'm about to get them to increase the pay per conversion and just tell them to increase the price that they're charging customers, because I'm hearing customers on the phone, they're not batting an eyelid about price. So that way they're not out of pocket, but I just benefit from that, and the customers are still going to keep coming.
Yeah, absolutely. Anything we can do to make the clients of our clients more profitable is like, they'll see value in our eyes, right? So that's great. Josh, are you going to be joining us at the event, man?
I'm trying to make it happen. I have my honeymoon next week. I'm starting for 10 days. So maybe
One of
with these new client increases, I can get that all going to get over there.
One of the benefits of the event that we really haven't pushed is it's actually a great spot to take your wife on a honeymoon.
Yeah, the hidden bonus, eh?
That would be cool, man. I know we got to hang out. I guess it's closing in on a year last September out in San Diego, right? So it'd be cool if you can join us again, man.
Yeah, Jeff was saying it's in Vegas this year, so I definitely want to at least get out to that if I can't make out to Orlando.
Awesome. Alec Newmeyer says wives love bowling. There is a bowling alley built into the house.
Yeah, she does love bowling.
There you go, man.
There you go.
This is more about her then.
The resale.
All right, cool, man. Well, congrats on the wins on kind of like raising the price and helping your clients and getting those first lead to come in on the new site. That's always a positive feeling, and really instill some faith in our clients when we do that early. So that's
there's no Google profile for that site yet either, so that was another kind of positive of it too.
Awesome. Who else has some wins? The wins.
I got some wins.
I got a win.
Let's go, Doug, first. Doug, what do you got?
I just I picked up 2 clients in the water mold remediation niche, and then I was picked up a guy to help me do the work with the SEO because I'm trying to start outsourcing more of my work. And he was in the water mold remediation niche for 30 years. And then about 8 years ago, he became an agency to work in that area. So I've got this perfect guy that did it for 30 years. He had a $10 million a year business with water and mold. And now he just does SEO and ads for it. And he's crushing it. And so it was like a marriage made perfect, So
man, that's amazing.
And then an SEO guy that's just kicking ass,
I love it. It sounds like you've is that your niche, Doug?
No, I kind of fell into it actually, but it's going to be my niche now.
Yeah. So next question is how do we scale it, right? How do we get more clients coming in?
Yeah, that's what I have to do now. That's the problem, right?
Yeah, that's there's absolutely, like, after we kind of get through that first phase of, okay, we've got our clients, we've selected our niche. Now, how do we scale it? How do we start to pump that up, right? By getting opportunities potentially to speak at a mold and remediation event, like any kind of trade event, perhaps building out the mold and remediation marketing website. Like, how can we get potentially into the supply line? Are there any Facebook groups that we can add value to? So many different ways. But this is why when you get to kind of Doug's spot, he's starting to outsource some of the SEO so that you can put on your hat and like focusing towards these things, right? How do we land 10 clients at once rather than one every month, right? So yeah, man, we on our last event, we talked about this quite a bit. And I think we're going to be covering this again for the people that are really trying to build up that agency and create that pipeline. That's one of the things I really want to go into is like, how do we set this system up for scale? So congrats, Doug, man. That sounds like some big wins between the new clients and finding like somebody that's an expert in the niche that's in your corner. That's phenomenal, man. So
yeah, it was amazing. So I just have one other problem to deal with. I have a plumber client that's pretty new, and we've just been doing SEO and ads for him. The ads haven't been performing very well, and the guy's an expert. He's really good, but he's a really good friend of mine. I give him a lot of business, but he's not performing on this job. And this other guy tells me that he can do really, really well with that niche. And I don't know how to tell my friend that I'm going to give it to somebody else without totally pissing him off. And I'm really struggling with it,
Yeah, absolutely, man. That's tough. And that's one of the reasons I try to kind of keep friends away from my business a little bit. One of the big takeaways I had at this last event in Boston for Dan Martell was this guy who is the founder. He's 39 years old now, and he's the founder of Wistia, which I was blown away that this guy's that young, because that company is a monster and they've been around for 17 years. That video company, right? They can compete with like Vimeo. Anyways, he had this really good message that stuck with me, and it's like the tone of the message is almost always how it's received, right? So if we deliver a message with warmth and compassion, a lot of times that's how it's received, regardless of what we say, you know. So we got Alfredo sauce here, and if I was saying, hey, Alfredo, man, you know, we've been friends for a long time, and you know, I really appreciate everything you do to support. But as I got to know you, you know, I just kind of think you're an asshole. Right. I wouldn't say that, but you can kind of see the difference between that when it comes with that warmth and compassion versus just calling someone an asshole. So I've tried to take that into all my conversations with the people on my team, with you know, my clients. So maybe there's some wisdom in there as you have a difficult conversation, man. That quote has stuck with me, and you know, that's from somebody who has made a massive fortune communicating on video, right? It's like the tone of how we deliver is how the message is received. So congrats to you, Doug, man. I hope that goes well. Alfredo sauce, were you the other person that had a win?
Yeah, you know, it's been a real blessing with Google My Business profiles. You know, people took a hit over the weekend on it, and I just feel blessed that I did not feel that wave in my business. In fact, I added people that I'm helping with right now. They're literally just sending me some, hey, do this profile, do this profile. So I'm super excited. Some new partnerships that I've created. Yet again, you know, that's still growing for me. That I never would have thought that in 100 years. But yeah, I really feel humbled and blessed. And as far as the success and growth, it's always nice, because for a little while it was kind of like flatline. Now I see it, boom, move up a little and get that like little hockey stick again. And there's no better feeling, right? When in our business and sales, we have that income, when we have that added, when we're able to help, is what I really, when we're able to help people and they refer you and they give you more, and then you'll be able to help even more and more. That's like, that feeling never gets old, right?
That impact, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so yeah, my big win is just I added three more profiles to the you know, portfolio, and just rocking and rolling.
Congrats, man. That's amazing. Hey guys, one of the things I want you guys to do, I want you guys to be engaged when people are sharing their wins. Let's kind of embrace the community. Let's celebrate for them. Let them hear it. Let them feel the love, and let's inspire the rest of us, right? Let's set the energy here, and not just have these be some Zoom calls where it's on in the background and it is what it is, right? Let's that's not why I built this group, and that's not what I wanted to become. So there we go. That's what I'm talking about right there. Good stuff, guys. Awesome. All right. Do we have any other wins?
Yeah, small win.
Edwin, what do you got, man?
So I had a GMB that my neighbor, I talked to my neighbor and she let me use her house for put a GMB. She doesn't know exactly what it is, but because we have a good relationship, I told her, can I use your house? And she let me use it. So, anyways, I started ranking it, and I sent leads to a guy that by accident, I had like 3 websites, and I was gonna call these 2, but by mistake, I called this other guy. But it turns out that the guy, he wants to grow. And so he said, it's not a flat fee, but it's a 15% per job. And he said, okay, even after the job, if they request some more jobs, I'm gonna keep giving you the 15%. So if he becomes a customer for other projects, I will give you 50%. And he said, I'm gonna give you access to my GMB. He had a GMB. I don't wanna mess with leads. I'm not good at those things. I'm good at closing. That's my background. And he said, I have another house in another city. Can we put a GMB there? Because I have a crew there. So that's what I've been doing, is reaching out to, because now it's very tough getting GMBs. So what I'm doing is reaching out and kind of starting partnership and using their houses and their GMBs versus trying to set up a new one. So I just want to share that, and
Yeah, that's a great
I
idea.
have a couple of new GMBs that one guy I said, can I use your truck, your tools, everything? I'm gonna go set up the GMB. I'm gonna have to go into your house. And he was a little desperate for jobs, so he let me, and we went through. And so I'm using their assets, like their tools, trucks, DBAs, house. So that's what I was doing. So I wanted.
Yeah, I think it's great the way if we can frame this to be in their best interest, then a lot of times they're down for it. Let them know, like, hey, this is going to help your your business. This is going to deliver leads to you. Then, like, why wouldn't they want to do that? And I think we just say, hey, can I use your house for a GMB? That's not going to let them pull the trigger. But it's like, hey, we set up this location. We have another antenna here. More people are going to be able to see the signal. That's going to lead to more work. The business can grow, right? So just framing it, we got to take advantage of the assets that they have. This is helping their business out. If you position this right, you'll get them on board. So that's great, Edwin. That's good to see. That's good to see you on the call again, man. And congrats on getting those GMB set up. It sounds like you're moving things in a good direction. And now getting a percentage deal, there's money coming in for you, which, like, I know when we're getting started, like, hey, maybe Edwin can do it. Maybe so-and-so can do it, but can I actually do it? Can I? And sometimes we make it be way more complicated than it needs to be, right? It's like, you guys, we're a lot closer to success than we think if we can just like focus on things that are going to move the dial, like setting up a couple GMBs, closing a couple clients, starting to get their website. Man, that's something caught in my throat here. All right, Edwin, congrats. Do we have any other wins before we jump into things? Mr. Devin, my man, what's up?
Yeah, I got a couple of quick wins. I got 2 GMBs instant verified this week. I didn't do anything special. I just requested them and Google let them go live. And for both of those GMBs, those were for contractors who had reached out to me asking for commission. And I said, yeah, sure, I'll try it. Why not? And since both the GMBs went live, I'll see how those go. And I also had a good meeting with one of my current concrete contractors where I'm following the offer, that you proposed in the Rank Masters group. And I sent them over the website that I've been building out for them, and they absolutely love it. So, it's a good client retention, and just some people who were afraid of putting up some money in the beginning where they offered, I should say, the commission deal, but I'm trying to frame it in a way that will transition over to a flat rate as time goes on. So just like you were saying, I'm trying not to get in my own way, if they're willing to pay me. So
I love it. And I love the energy that you have right now on this call, man. I know that we didn't get the chance to connect last week and I'm leaving on Thursday, but we're definitely going to make that happen. I love the strides that you're taking. It seems like more positive energy. So we've got multiple deals going through. This, I think, is your first one where it's truly the Rank Masters offer, right?
Yeah, it's kind of backed its way up into it. That's been a long winding road, but yeah, I've made the shoe fit to get into the Rank Masters offer. Yeah,
I'll tell you, man, with exactly what Mr. Alfredo Sauce was talking about here makes the offer that we're moving towards even more valuable, right? When GMBs are getting suspended and GMBs and leads are not all that we're being judged on, that makes our offer stronger, right? I've shared this a few times. I was a big proponent of the lead generation strategy for a long time. And, I've built multiple companies off of this, but Google has us in their sites for not my company. It has lead generation people in their sites, and they're doing their best to try to locate and shut this stuff down. So if we can make a pivot, I'm in another group where there's 80 plus people in there that are doing more than $1 million a year. 0 of them are doing lead generation, rank and rent stuff. We know that that model works. We know that the rank and rent model and that lead generation model has a ton of value and allows us to build up assets that we own. The offer that he's talking about is combining those and not going below $1,500 a month, which means we have to be working with contractors that have a little bit higher ticket, at least $1,000 average ticket cost, right? That makes the numbers work, and it allows us to show them value early, because if you're strictly in rank and rent or lead generation, what are you going to do for the first few months when no leads are coming in yet, right? We're not all going to have that experience like I think it was Josh, where we put up a site and then lead comes in right away. Like, that's great when that happens, but that we can't count on that to be our client retention system. But when we can show them, hey, I've built you out this website, I'm adding new pages to it, we've got reviews coming in, we can spread out the way that we're delivering value and not have it just be one thing where it's solely leads, because you'll have a target on your back. And when Google shakes the tree, maybe your client's going to fall out and you'll have to find another one, right? So Devin, amazing, man. Congrats. And I'm excited to see you here in a few weeks too. Coming down to Orlando. I'm going to introduce the speakers here. I think you're going to like some of these people. We've got some big names that I feel honored to have at this event. But congrats to you, brother. All right. Any other wins, guys? All right, let's do this. I want you guys, we may have a little bit of time towards the end where we're going to have an opportunity for questions. So if you have something that you're really stuck on in your business, think about it for a little bit. Hopefully we'll have a minute at the end and I can take a couple questions and we can dive into that stuff. All right, so for those of you guys who don't know, I know that what I've learned is that there's some people that are on the call regularly and they didn't even know that the event was happening until last week, right? So I want to make sure that we do a better job of pushing that out there, because this is, I think, a fantastic opportunity to come together with an amazing community of people that are all trying to do their best as entrepreneurs to level up. And part of that means creating these relationships. Part of it means getting exposed to new ideas, to new value, running into people that have maybe solved some of the problems that are a little bit further down the journey than you are. This mastermind, which is going to be July 27th through 30th in Orlando, this is a great opportunity for this. So kind of the plan is Thursday, 27th is going to be a meet and greet at the mansion. So I like to, the hotel events, those are cool, but I really like to take things up a level, and I like it to be in an environment where it can be a little bit more intimate, because I think one of the most important pieces is those relationships that get formed by putting people in this more social situation. I think we get to a trusted relationship faster. We can become faster friends. So Thursday at the mansion, we got the meet and greet with the bartender. Friday and Saturday is going to be all day learning, 2 days, 8 hours. We're going to have catered. We got caterers coming in to take care of all the food and everything. It's not where you're going to have to go drive around. One of the things I learned last time when we did our event in Miami was that there is a tremendous amount of traffic sometimes, and people can get lost along the way. And that part of the event I think was a little bit of a mess. But now we have catering coming in there, and they're going to take care of all the meals for us. We've got the VIP sessions, multiple VIP sessions. So we have Friday, Saturday at the mansion. Sunday, we got a VIP session in the morning. And then Sunday afternoon, we have a pool party with a DJ and a bartender. So just to let you guys know, the pool party, I don't know if you guys have been to a house that has a lazy river in it before. If you come to the event, this will be maybe your first time experiencing that. The lazy river, this is cool. It actually runs around the yard, and there's a movie theater. It's like a two-sided movie theater on both sides. That's the type of place we're going to. As we mentioned earlier, there's a bowling alley. There's laser tag, multiple game rooms. This is going to be an amazing time. It's not just going to be fun because of, hey, we've got all these great speakers that are coming in there that are going to share tremendous value, but just experiencing a weekend with a bunch of people that are like-minded, that are digital marketers and local lead generation, SEO masters, like all of these people in the same spot. You guys, it's going to be phenomenal. I hope you guys can join us. I know we still have, I think maybe 15 tickets or so left. We're expecting, I think it's going to be 75 people at the event. Obviously, we can't go beyond that because there are fire codes and stuff that we have to follow for the mansion. But let's jump into some of our speakers here. I'm going to share my screen. Some of you guys maybe have heard of all of these guys or one of these guys or some of these guys. All right, so
Reload.
let's start. What's that?
Reload it.
Reload it? Okay.
Yeah, we just shoot you.
There we go. That's cleaner. All right. So about a year and a half ago, I joined a mastermind called Traffic and Funnels. And it was based out of Nashville, Tennessee. And I came away from the mastermind. I wouldn't say that I was satisfied with how things went. I did my best to try to reach out for coaching, and I just couldn't get the resources that I wanted. With that being true, the two people that led the mastermind were two of the brightest people I've ever had the opportunity of interacting with in my life, Taylor Welsh and Chris Evans. So Chris Moore is a part of Rank Masters. He's a partner in the program. He is someone that I met during that mastermind. And he is a partner with Chris Evans here. So Chris Evans is, I've probably heard maybe 10 people that are of very high level people say that they think Chris Evans is one of the best marketers in the world. So it is only through my relationship with Chris that I'm able to, Chris Moore, who is a good friend and a partner in the program with me, that I'm able to secure this speaker, Chris Evans. This guy is super high level. It's was a little painful to read his bio because he's such a humble person. It's hard to get him to brag, but this guy is absolutely brilliant. I think he was running, you can see he has a team of 160 people that he's managed. He's, I can't remember the numbers, but I think him and Taylor own somewhere around 4,000 houses in the Atlanta area, right? So they've done that by building successful companies, systems, just absolutely brilliant people. I think this number, and don't quote me on this, but I think he owns 6 or 7 of these seven-figure businesses and a few 8-figure businesses simultaneously. And this guy, as you see, after burnout and misalignment, the misalignment, I've had a conversation with him, was in part about this, people having experiences like this in that coaching program that had. Don't let that take anything away from him, because this guy is absolutely brilliant, and he really wanted to push a life of peace and happiness while balancing things. And for me, it was a huge takeaway when at one of his events, when someone talked about working too much, and he said, he kind of was like, well, peace and happiness are constraints. So basically what he's saying is, everything else being true, like no matter however the rest of the things are going to play out, peace and happiness are a requirement. And he's built his entire business and his life around that. So Chris Evans is going to fly in. He's one of these guys going to fly in one night, and then he's off. This is a very high level person that's going to be joining us, but we're going to get the opportunity to interact with him and have him share some of his wisdom. I'll tell you, I signed up for Traffic and Funnels for Taylor. I'd followed Taylor for a while. I'd followed his podcast. The first event that I went to, Chris was one of the first speakers. And about 5 minutes into his speech, I was like, this might be the smartest person I've ever met. Absolutely floored by the way he positions things and the way he thinks through things. So I think he's going to be sharing maybe some of his decision-making frameworks. But you guys, if you guys get the chance to come to this event, I think this is going to be somebody that sticks with you for a long time. All right. So Chris Evans, absolute rock star. We are so grateful to have him. Monik Bond. So some of you guys know Monik. Monik was at the, Monik has a booth at, he had a booth at the Traffic and Conversion Summit in San Diego. of all the booths that were there, and there was probably 100, I think Monik doesn't do things half-ass. I think he had the absolute best booth there. And Monik, I went over and I started talking to this guy as someone who had a booth. One of my goals is to try to become friends with the other people that are there. The other people, not just the attendees, but the people who are actually investing money and have potential partnerships, because that could mean, thousands of users potentially for LeadSnap. And these are also people that, I think they have to be high level people if they're getting a booth. Booths are expensive at this conference. So Monik and I formed a relationship. Turns out Monik actually lives in the same city I do in South Florida. In addition to running a software company and a marketing agency, Monik and I both have this kind of like passion for like the water. So any of you guys that saw, I was on the sailing trip. Monik had bought a yacht and asked me if I could help transport his yacht from Marco Island through the Florida Keys and into Miami. This is the guy that I was with during this time. We talked a lot of like high level SEO strategies and a lot of just kind of like life stuff. This is somebody who has become, I think, one of my best friends in the world. And coincidentally, he is a very high level SEO. Monik doesn't compete on the local level for most of his stuff. He has built his software off of competing on the national level. So last week I told Monik, hey, I'm going back to Ohio, where I went to college, to hang out with some of my best friends that I hadn't seen in 15 years. Monik says, where did you go to college? And I said, University of Cincinnati. And Monik says, that's one of my clients, right? These are the type of clients that Monik has. Big names, a lot of Fortune 500 companies. He's taught SEO to them. And if you guys are going to rank nationally for something, you have to be playing high level. The benefit of local is that we only have to compete against people on our school ground, and we don't have to compete in like the national finals, right? Monik has made his living, and he's made a very good living competing on the national level for SEO. So he has built a tool that competes with Ahrefs, and it competes with SCMrush. And I'll tell you, for the people that are at the event, you'll probably have the opportunity to get, you'll definitely have the opportunity to get access to Monik. I think he's going to hang out with us at the mansion the whole weekend. He's an absolute amazing guy, but I think he's going to be hooking us up with a deal for anyone that is at the event for his software. It does some amazing things. Some of the things he doesn't like to advertise that it does, because Monik has done his best to take advantage of technology to leverage the way the algorithms work. And maybe he doesn't want to publish some of those, but we'll get exposed to some of that. He's got some awesome auditing tools in there. He's won multiple Inc. 5000s awards. He spoke at a lot of different events. He's won national like SEO competition type stuff. Just amazing mind that is going to be here hanging out with us the entire weekend. And he's somebody that's very approachable. If any of you guys have seen that technology where you go to a stadium and you can kind of like see the view from any spot in the stadium, Monik actually wrote the technology. Monik is a software engineer. He was competing against companies like StubHub and Ticketmaster, and he felt like he couldn't compete with them from a size standpoint. So he took it another angle and he wrote like drone software, and then he ended up doing an exit, and I think he sold it to StubHub and to Ticketmaster. So very, very high level guy, great person to talk. He spent the last decade of his life in SEO. So this guy will be somewhat at your disposal during this event if you guys choose to come. And then we got Marcel Petipas. This guy is kind of the MC, and he's the head coach. So I have a coach myself, right? Dan Martell is one of my coaches. So Dan Martell wrote the book, Buy Back Your Time. It's been, I think, #2 on the New York Times bestseller list for pretty much the entire time that it has been launched. Marcel is the head coach for Dan Martell, and they have probably 40 coaches there. So Marcel is the top. He has an agency that is he's created software that helps marketing agencies help with their operations, their costs, their finances. He's got a massive experience of running his own agency, then building a software company and working with one of the highest performers that they're, Dan Martell is the most efficient person that I've ever been around. So Marcel has been essentially working one-on-one with Dan Martell, his number one coach for, I think 7 years or something like that. So absolute rock star. And he can speak so much, not only on the marketing side of things, but just what it takes to run a business. So I'm going to do my best. It's a big ask to get these guys to come to Orlando. I'm spending a lot of money to get these guys to come in. But I want to see if I can get them on a call or to kind of give us a video to do an intro on there. I would love to see, do any of you guys have any questions or anything about our speakers? For those of you guys that are coming to the event, let me see in the chat if you guys are excited to hang out with some of these guys, and maybe which one of those guys really resonates with you the most. Let's keep the engagement up here. I'd love to hear from it. Jeff, you've been exposed to all three of these guys. Throw your 2 cents in on our speakers.
I like them all, man.
Well said. Thank you. They're great. Best killer man in the business there.
Yeah, right. Yeah, I mean, Chris Evans is definitely very high level. He and Taylor, they're just top level thinkers and executors, implementers. They've built some amazing things. And Monik is also a good friend, have been around with him a bit. And he was at the last event. If you guys were in Miami, I don't know if you got a chance to talk to him. He wasn't there the whole time. He was just there off and on, but he did show up in Miami. And then Marcel, I've seen multiple times at events. So amazing. One thing, Patrick, we didn't have a chance to discuss. Do you want to reveal or tease the other potential speaker and opportunity that is going to present, or do you want to keep that hush hush for now?
I guess we can mention it, but it's just, guys, this one's a question mark. We're going to find out in the next, I think today. We're going to find out today.
Either way, I think we should Zoom him in. So I think he should show up one way or the other, whether it's in person or on video.
Yeah, we could probably make that happen. Hopefully, I kind of don't like to Zoom people into the events. People are paying for a live event. It sucks to come to a live event and then have someone be there virtually, but he is going to bring a tremendous amount of value either way. So basically, LeadSnap is in the middle of a partnership with a company, and we haven't really pushed out the updates on it all, but this company, they're venture capital backed, and they just about a month ago sealed the deal with Google. They have they are an exclusive partner with Google. And I'm not talking about this like bullshit people that call up and say, hey, I'm partners with Google and you're Google My Business. They're actually like a real Google partner, not like this like fairy tale one that everyone pretends to have. So with their partnership and the software that they have, they are the only company in the world that has the ability to turn on the book online feature for home service providers. We've all seen it for like maybe hair salons or restaurants. So they can do that. And they're estimating that the conversion rate increase, Google and them have worked together to come up with these numbers. And they're estimating that the conversion rate improvement from the book online button to be somewhere between 30 and 40% more conversions. So absolute amazing opportunity. I feel, I connected with him because we're both a part of Dan Martell's coaching program. This is the type of people that you get to run into with this. When you spend a lot of money on a coaching program, then you get to be around other people who are willing to spend a lot of money. And from that, there's going to be amazing people, and they're doing big things. So that's how I got connected with them. Huge win for them. They've obviously invested tons of money to get to where they are and the product that they have. But I think there's, he hasn't committed to coming yet. We've just been going back and forth, but I feel pretty confident that he will be coming and letting us know soon. So once we have that confirmation, I'll share more details on it. But we can go there, and what we could do while we're at the event is we could turn on the book online feature for all of your guys' GMBs while we're at the event. He's got a big team, right? And we can start to see how that conversion process can work. In addition, there's what their product does is it does like a scheduling And this is why Google really wants to break into the home services area. So they have a phenomenal product with this really complex algorithm that handles like traffic routes and scheduling and crews and services and all these different things and kind of combines them together. This is what attracted them to Google, because they think that Google can increase the value of their search by having tools like this that connect directly to contractors' calendars. So they've got tons of case studies that show when they use their platform that the people are converting in more industries, I'm seeing more jobs. And there are in like hundreds of, they've got a big list of clients, and they're in tons of industries. Probably every niche that you guys are in, they have a company associated with that, with a case study showing higher conversion rates with their product. But now pairing that with the book online button is really going to take it to a whole nother level. And I think it's really important. This is a lot of the conversations that Jeff and I have been having, is like, the industry is changing, right? Sometimes the Google My Business stuff is getting harder. They're making our jobs more difficult. How are we going to pivot? How can we make, we've mentioned the offer like that Devin was talking about. We've kind of changed our offer a little bit, but what if we increase the follow-up? What if more leads that actually come in turn into appointments for them? What if more leads or more appointments turn into jobs? So these are the parts of the puzzle that we're working on, and this is a big piece of that. So really excited to potentially have this guy. He's already a partner with LeadSnap, but really excited to have this guy. He has to fly a very long way to get to South Florida. So and he's got a family and he had plans, but he's trying to move things around. But it sounds like he's going to make it happen. So we'll see where it goes from there. Jeff, anything else you want to add about that?
Yeah, I just think that, these are the things that Patrick and I have been working on behind the scenes for months, that I feel like in this transitionary phase. I mean, it's always like SEO is always evolving, right? So in an effort to stay on the cutting edge and to be able to offer things that not everyone has, that's really where we see our value, is being out there, building friendships with people like Monica, who's at the cutting edge of SEO strategy, and these other people who have companies that are partnering with Google and all that. It's like, what happens 3 months from now when the blue scheduling button becomes, starts to become more well-known and people are looking for it. And then 6 months after that, it's like an expectation, and we're already the experts, and we've been pushing this out on all of our GBPs forever, or for the last 6 months or 8 months or whatever. It's a market differentiator when we're going out there. You can sell it. What about just adding that to the equation when you're out there prospecting and saying, hey, by the way, I can get you this blue booking button on your Google listing that increases conversions by 30 or 40%. Like, what advantage does that give us? Like, all of these things with our offer are going to allow us to continue to evolve and grow and excel and thrive in the new dynamic of whatever SEO and lead generation becomes, without being dependent just on GBP. I also wonder if, in the grand scheme of things, like, does this booking button, at least in the short term, does it make your GBPs more stable? Like, I don't know. These are all questions to be answered, right? So there's just a lot to consider there. And I think being in the room at the forefront, or at the beginning of these conversations as we roll these things out, is super valuable.
Yeah, absolutely. We can't tell you whether it's going to make it more stable or not. We kind of discussed that internally, but it seems like, hey, we've got a trusted partner. They're putting something on here. We'll see. Either way, I think that it's undeniably going to increase the conversions, right? And for a while, you kind of have this gold rush where it is going to become standard. Google has this exclusivity agreement with the company that they're the only ones that can turn this on for the first year. At some point, everyone's going to have it turned on. Until that point happens, it is a fantastic opportunity for us, and it's potentially something we could sell. We could sell this to our clients, because if other people can't turn this on, or they don't know how to, and we can, like, that's something that can bring immediate results for us, right? So if they have a Google My Business, we can say, hey, we're going to work on optimizing it. We have this, we can get your reviews, all these different things. It's something that is an immediate benefit for them. And it's essentially like, if you're seeing like 30 to 40% more conversions, it's almost like you're ranking for like a third more things. Like you're not doing any other work, but you're getting a third to you know, a little bit more than a third more opportunities with the exact same ranking stuff. And if traffic and conversions contribute to your rankings, then like, hey, maybe there's a whole momentum shift, and it ends up being more valuable than what already is has amazing value. So really, really cool to be fortunate enough to be connected with him and their company. So let's do this. We're at 47. Have you guys, let's put your hands up using the gesture. If you guys have a question. At the beginning of the call, I said, hey, let me know if you have a question. Otherwise, I'm going to just kind of highlight this. I've thrown in the speakers there for the link to the speakers. Here is the link to the events as well. So I've put this into Facebook. Let me throw this into Facebook as well, into the Slack chat there.
Yeah, and you guys, Josh just messaged me about the location of the events in Davenport. So it's actually about 45 minutes southwest of Orlando, but in the Orlando metro. So it's called Davenport.
Yeah, guys, and we'll share for those of the people that are that sign up for the event. We'll give you guys the exact address, but we're just kind of making sure that, hey, that's limited to the people that are paid people that are coming that we know, like, and trust, right? That are going to be there. So, okay, cool. So I want to get into a couple. Last week, we went through some of the strategies from, or some of the new features that we had launched into LeadSnap. We're getting pretty close to rolling out our citation feature, which it basically is going to give you a list of your citations for your Google My Businesses. You can run reports and have this gap analysis with your competitors. I was hoping that we would be able to roll this out this week, but it looks like that's not going to be the case. But coming soon to your LeadSnap account. One of the things that I want to jump into, let me share my screen here. All right. Jeff, give me a thumbs up. Can you see my screen? Okay, cool. All right. So you guys, a quick way to get, for those of you guys getting started, everyone knows that reviews, like 10 years ago, when we tried to look at the Google My Businesses, what we find a lot of times is like the best ranking person sometimes would have 4 reviews or 6 reviews. And that's changed. It's hard to find these top ranking sites that have only a few reviews. And part of the reason is reputation management companies have really done their job on trying to find new customers, but everything has moved online and people know the value of reviews. So if somebody doesn't have a system, and there's kind of like a gold rush going on right now where most businesses don't have a reputation management system in place, but at the same time, the people know that this would be advantageous for them. So you guys, through LeadSnap, you have the possibility to automate this process and collect these reviews. And it's an easy way to get yourself in and get your foot in the door. So if you go and look at, so I'm going to share this with you. So this is one of the biggest players in the market is a company called Birdeye. You guys probably heard of Birdeye before. They're probably the most well-known dominant company out there that serves the reputation management market. They got a lot of cool features. One of the cool things that Birdeye does for us is when you set up an account with Birdeye, they give you your own page, which is great. That means that you've got your own, it's like its own little like micro website type thing, right? So I've done a site command on Birdeye, and I can go through here and I can look at all these different companies here that are paying for reputation management. And Birdeye is expensive, right? So I can actually do it like this. I could search like birdeye.com, and then I could just, what if I did like plumbing? So this is going to give me all the plumbing sites that all the customers that are paying that have plumbing. So I can do this for whatever niche I want. You can see there's 53,000 on this list, right? So I know that Patriot Plumbing Service, the reason they have a page here, and look, they got a lot of reviews. And I think Harry Gilliam, you're on the call. Harry, you mind tuning in for a second?
Go ahead.
So Harry, I know that you've worked out special deals with Birdeye, but I think for most of the businesses like Patriot Plumbing, they're spending several $100s a month to get their service. Is that accurate? I can't remember exactly what their numbers are.
Yeah, and remember, Patriot may be spending that money with me or you, or directly with Birdeye. I would say that I don't know this, but my bet is that Patriot's probably a client of, they're buying of somebody like me or you. In other words, we have an agency, we open an agency account with Birdeye, and then we can bring other, Patriot Plumbing Services in under us. So it works both ways.
Absolutely. So,
but it is expensive either way, I promise you.
Yes, it is. It is very expensive. I'll tell you what it's not. And I'll tell you what is regardless of who they're paying. So let's go over to LeadSnap.com. And if you own a domain, you should learn how to spell it. So let's go to LeadSnap.com and let's go over to the pricing page and let's look at things. So I'll tell you what it is not for them. They're not spending $99 a month for a starter plan. They're probably spending closer to between $200 or $300 a month for this like reputation management service alone. Imagine that you are on this plan right here with 10 companies. So it's $20 a month. These people are already spending probably north of $200 a month for reputation management alone, right? And we have a list of 53,000 plumbing companies that are in here that are spending that. And you have a tremendous opportunity right here. If we were to identify these people and, hey, this is a foot in the door. I see that you're using Birdeye and maybe it's a couple $100s a month. And what Harry has so cleverly done, and actually one of the things that we changed inside of our platform came from Harry's idea. So here's his idea is we know that the reviews impact the GMB rankings. So wouldn't it be great, and this was Harry's idea, wouldn't it be great as if, and this is I'm going to use this to illustrate a point, but I don't have the data and like to illustrate it properly maybe, but I know that Harry does. So here's what you do is like, imagine this company right here has 118 reviews. So when you run a heat map, the way it used to work is we would pull in the real count of the reviews and that would mess things up because like, imagine I'm at 13.81 and I have 118 reviews, but a month ago, I only had 100 reviews and I can see this number improving as my reviews go up. So with LeadSnap, you can kind of combine this with a 1-2 punch, right? Birdeye does not have a heat map built in. So they maybe struggle to be able to validate the actual impact that it's having, right? So we have the automations, we have the reviews, and if you guys white label this, they won't know that it's LeadSnap. So essentially what you could do is you could take LeadSnap, white label it to your own brand, reach out to these companies, show them their heat map, show them their reviews, potentially say, hey, if you use my platform here, maybe you're tired of dealing with form submission spam, right? So if I go in here, I can shut that down for you. You can have everything in one location and we can immediately put you into an automation and I can show you how you're ranking over time. I can show you as we add more reviews, we can target certain areas. I think this is a very effective way to pitch and it's a great way to get your foot in the door. People know that they need reviews. Yeah, Harry, what do you got?
Here's the thing. I'm bouncing off of something you said about Birdeye. No, Birdeye doesn't show that you've improved or show any progress at all. They're either not conscious of it or they don't care about it. So here's what I found out. Some of you guys know this and some of you don't, but here's what I found out about reviews. And I found it out using LeadSnap heat maps is I started benchmarking my review customers, and I would show them where, let's just take that heat map we're looking at right there. Let's say that was the way the heat map looked on May the 1st. And then what I do is I started tracking it, sometimes every day, sometimes every week or whatever. But what I found was that reviews improved the heat map literally within 24 to 48 hours. It is absolutely, totally visible. So if you use heat maps, especially with the new features that I was just shown earlier today, you can show the progress in keyword analysis, I think. You can show the progress of how the changes to the heat map occurred. That fact, the fact that reviews will improve the heat map, has been 100% reliable every single time I've done it with a client. I have not had a client, there you go. And this is new, which I love, by the way. Thank you for getting that arranged to be showed to me today. But when we show clients that getting those 10 more reviews or 100 more reviews improve their heat map and their rankings all over the place, most of those clients never knew that was going on. They didn't know where they were ranked. When they look themselves up, it's a vanity lookup. Maybe my company is DevStruct. I go and look myself up. Oh, I'm number one. Yeah, you're number one in one circle on the map. But look at all the places you're not. So when I start to show that to people before and after, prospective new clients, their eyes bug out. And the clients love me because they want that to keep going on. So the heat maps have become my closing tool, my tool that shows them what their progress is along the way. And then I take a heat map like the one we're looking at, and they say, oh, well, we're really good now. Maybe we don't need you anymore. Yeah, you do. Wouldn't you like to be selling? Wouldn't you like to be in the number one position up there where all the red and orange is? And they, yeah. Well, how do we do that? I said, stay tuned. We're going to keep doing that. So what I promised them is I'll expand the heat map to a larger scale area of Dallas and gain more traffic and more everything for them. Clients don't know about this stuff. And I'm telling you, Bird Eye's not selling it this way either. So this is a golden opportunity for all of us.
So Harry, if it's true that we can upload a list of contacts into LeadSnap, right? We can go in here to our contacts area, and maybe these people, like Patriot Plumbing, has been in business for a long time. So we download the template, we put in their customers, then we upload it, we put them into an automation. We say, hey, don't pay me anything. Let's just see if we can get some reviews. Here is where you're starting. Let's load these reviews in. And if it's impacting their heat map within 24 to 48 hours, like if it's impacting their heat map, it's impacting their visibility. If it's impacting their visibility, they could potentially have more leads coming in a week, right?
Exactly. So,
absolutely.
And if you can set it up, and I don't know how you've got this set up billing wise, but if you can set it up that we could do 7-day trial, this is one of the things that Bird Eye does. Bird Eye basically lets you have a free trial for a while. So if you can set it up so that we can offer free trials, that's like saying to the prospect, you have no risk. Give me a list and we will show you what we can do. And if we don't show you, and if we don't prove that we can improve your ranking according to the heat map, then don't hire us. You can put a reverse spin on the whole sale, because I promise you, every time you do this, unless you're dealing with a client who's already done it, like in the last month, most of these guys are sitting on mailing lists of their old customers who have never been asked for a review. So you get a guy that's been around for 10 years and he's got 200, 300, 1,000 old customers. I guarantee you can get him more reviews and you can get his ranking up. It will happen every time. I can't guarantee you'll get him in the map pack because that depends on too many other variables. But I have not seen it fail that this works.
Yeah, absolutely. And, guys, just being able to show that you got reviews is like,
exactly.
That's enough to land a client. And you can do that at no cost, really. Hey, I've got a hard stop here. Jeff, you take over the rest of this call. Guys, spend your next week trying to create some wins for your business. I've given you some strategies. It's up to you guys to actually use this and take action. Just because you read a fantastic book with a ton of information, it doesn't do anything until you actually put it into play. to new and what's the saying? To know and not to do is not to know, right? You've got a lightning in a bottle strategy here. Do something with it. We'd love to see you guys at the event, right? If you guys can make it out, you've heard from a lot of people in the last few weeks about how much they enjoyed the event. We would love to have you guys be there and enjoy it with us at this next event in July. So, Jeff will be here to answer any questions and provide any additional information. So, all right, guys, I got to jump off and jump on another webinar right now. So I'll talk with you guys soon. Thanks a lot.
See you.
Thanks. Bye.
All right, you guys. Well, there's a couple questions that I can't answer. Is there a video on this new feature and how to set it up?
I can answer it.
Go ahead.
Joran is working on that. I had a call with him 2 hours ago, and I asked him for exactly that, and he said he would do it. And he may have it. I'm speaking for him, so don't quote me on this, but he may have it if y'all do his call, which is currently scheduled for next Tuesday. But he said he would do it.
All right, cool. Thanks for that, Harry. Yeah,
Thank you, Harry.
Last time since I've talked to him. Alec, does BirdDog post their pricing for individual business? That may be another question for Harry, actually.
Yeah, but they price it for individual businesses, and I'm probably a little wrong on this, but I think it's around $495. They try to price individual businesses high enough that resellers, us agencies, can price it lower. Also, their pricing is a la carte because although they have a minimum, they have a lot of different services they provide. Reviews are not the only one. I think reviews are the most attractive thing they have, but they do sell a pretty wide range of services. So you get priced according to what you use. If you're a reseller, however, you can price it just about any way you want. For instance, I know guys who give away bird eye reviews, which I think is stupid, but they also don't understand the impact on GMB ranking, which I'm telling you, there's a dirty little secret that a lot of guys in SEO don't even know this stuff.
Right. Or they're not focused in on it.
Right. So the other half of the answer is, Jeff, is that the bad news is that if you're a reseller, they're called partners in Bird Eye, your minimum is, I think, $875 a month, and that lets you have 10. That's enough for 10 clients.
Okay.
So it's not cheap to get in, but it's doable. But I don't know that you need to. I think not only for the reasons we're talking about today, but some stuff coming that we haven't talked about today, but maybe a better idea to do it with LeadSnap, particularly if you're already in LeadSnap and using it.
Yeah, right. Because it's already available there for you. Yeah,
right.
100%. Very cool. Well, thanks for chiming in on that strategy. That's awesome that you have that kind of experience, expertise around it. Anybody else have questions for me that I can or can't answer? I'll do my best. Nope. What do you guys think about the blue booking button? You think that could be a game changer for GMBs?
Yeah, I do, but it's a little scary.
Now it makes me a little nervous because, like, what if they can start tracking people who have multiple GMBs but not offices or two different brands through the Book Now button because it links to an individual calendar, or the business owner has to check two calendars and two emails and two phone numbers. It makes
go through this other company. That's the benefit, is that it would link to the same calendar for the company. You can have different links so you can track where the leads are coming from, where the conversions are coming from, but it's booking on the same calendar. So you don't have to manage multiple calendars and you don't have the exact same link on each Google listing. Does that make sense?
It makes sense. Just makes me nervous about Google reverse engineering. Hey, these two Book Nows are linking to the same calendar, but it's two different brands. What's that about?
Well, that's what I'm saying. It's two different links. They're not going to be able to see in the other company's system what those links are, that they're not going to be able to see the calendar. They're going to see the link to the calendar because the calendar is internal in their system. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But I'm not saying that is completely airtight either, but I'm just saying that, you know, on a service level, that's the way I'm looking at it.
That's just my concern with the model is, you know, them, you know, clearly trying to put barbs in us these days. And so new feature makes you nervous. Unknowns, untested.
But it's all unknowns. It's all untested. That's the thing. That's where I see the opportunity, you know, is to come in and figure it out. Even if we had to go to one, you know, one website, one Google listing model overall, and just kind of re-strategize around it, and we could find the right structure for everything to make sense, then, you know, if that's the way the business evolves, that's the way the business evolves. I don't know. It's all scary. Doing nothing is scary, you know, so we'll see.
Jeff, I have a question for you. Just an opinion, but do you think maybe there's a niche here for tranquilizers specially designed for SEOs so they can sleep better?
What?
Tranquilizers for SEOs so they can sleep better?
Maybe meditation.
Yeah, SEO specific.
Yeah, something like that. Alec is asking, when is Dan Martell our guest speaker? Probably not anytime soon, but we did the best we could and got his second in command, Marcel's amazing. He's also, which Patrick didn't mention, he's actually an agency profitability expert and does consulting for agencies to become more profitable. So I'm sure he'll be throwing some of that stuff into the mix. So it's amazing. Devin, 30% conversion increase for clients. I'll allow it. Okay, there's money in the unknown. There is money in the unknown. I think it's to be determined, but you know, we'll see. And these people that we partnered with, and the guy who will be presenting, he's not going to know all this stuff about, well, how is it going to affect the multiple listings and different things. He's not tuned into our model as much. It's on us to kind of like take it, implement it, and see where we can gain advantage, you know, overall, whether from a sales perspective, ranking, conversion, all of that. But there's a lot of opportunity, in my opinion. So, I mean, if you could have one GMB that is producing 30% more leads for a niche for your client, like just create a GMB. Like maybe it doesn't even need a website attached to it. You know, if it has the booking thing, maybe it'll rank. If it has reviews, and maybe it'll just rank like that, you know, and who knows. We'll have to see how these things play out. All to be determined. Anybody else have any other questions before I get off of here? Right on. Well, thank you guys for your time. Thanks for joining us. We hope to see you in Orlando. If you have any questions about that, let me know. Reach out to me on Facebook Messenger or wherever it's convenient. Great speakers, and we will be adding more, at least this one, and potentially more than that. So we hope to see you there and go get some wins. See you on the next one.